What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Wrestling Junkies Podcast. I'm Mr. Cincinnati, and as always, I am joined by the podcast dad, Choops. How you doing, buddy?
Well, we talked a little pre-show. The house is sick, which means I am sick, and hopefully I don't sound too nasally. I'm hitting the halls pretty hard, but I wouldn't miss this one for the world, buddy.
Well, it's always good to see. It's a brand new week. It's All In week, so we are going to have plenty of All In coverage coming up this week. You can catch us on Local Spotlight. Surprise. And then do our official All In preview show this upcoming Wednesday. But before we dive into tonight's episode and have our guests join us, as always, make sure you're following at Junkies Pod on Twitter for all of the latest updates with the Wrestling Junkies Podcast. Do us a huge favor. So head over to our YouTube channel. Chris, hit them with that magic number.
Oh, sorry. 1. Hit my table right there. 1.
If you know at least one person that would enjoy our show, please do us a favor and share it with them. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are on the road to 1,000 subs, and we need your help to get there. And while you're online, make sure you head over to the Main Event Wrestling Network at mainevent_net on all social media platforms. Speaking of main event, hey, yo, to Mr. OTM, Kyle Gagliardi. Good to see you in the chats, my friend. You want blogs, live art, or fan art, live podcasts, this is the place to get it. We're looking for new members all the time. So if you're cool and you like wrestling, come chat with us and see how you can be a part of the Main Event Wrestling Network. Make sure you are supporting our merch store as well. These nifty coffee mugs. It is getting colder in the next few weeks. This is a perfect hot chocolate sipping mug. It's a cider mug. You need a little bit of bourbon with it, but yeah, it's a good way. It's a good drinking vessel is what I'm trying to say.
It is. Hot coffee and Bailey's would be fantastic.
MJB is not a Bailey's guy. I don't get it.
He'll learn.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't have my hopes up.
You learned about Eggs Benedict. I think he can learn about Bailey's. It'll be great.
It's not that I didn't know what Eggs Benedict were, okay?
You didn't know what you were missing. That's the problem.
It is pretty solid. Like, I'm not going to say it's not.
It's not just pretty solid. It is the go-to. If you are at brunch and you don't get Eggs Benedict and a Bloody Mary, I don't want to talk to you.
Well, we went to brunch yesterday, and neither one of us got either of those. See you later. And while you guys are online as well, use promo code WJP2024 for 25% off your order at GorillaPressApparel.com. Brand new unsigned and don't care t-shirt with Gary J, our friend Anakin Murphy, and Aaron Williams is available for pre-order now. Again, WJP2024, 25% off. And I'm not sure if everybody heard the news, but Trivia Tuesday is coming. We're going to be starting that in the next couple of weeks, where you're going to see a different question on social media each week and be entered to win some pretty cool prizes, including some additional promo codes to Gorilla Press Apparel. So be on the lookout for further details on that, buddy.
Somebody say trivia?
Yeah.
Oh, haven't seen him in a while.
Also,
oh my God. Well, I sold you on the catfish. You have to believe me on this one.
Yeah, he is right on this one, Kyle. I'm gonna give him this. I'm gonna give him this one. Though you did also admit that you were wrong this past weekend. I greatly appreciate that.
I don't remember that, so I will agree with you.
It would be about our current WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax.
Messages, or it didn't happen.
I will find it. I will find it.
Nope.
So
also,
Gorilla Press Apparel sounds like rich people food. You getting all hoity-toity on me, podcast dad?
It's a piece of Canadian bacon. It's a poached egg on an English muffin with hollandaise sauce. It's not that fancy. I'm telling you, it's not that fancy.
Pretty damn tasty. It's
see.
All right. Anyway,
I had it at you can get it at a diner. That's not fancy.
Okay, I think it's. I think that this part of the show has gone off the rails. I think it's time to bring on
the
our
Food
guest.
Network with the Junkies. We had geography last week. We're foodies this week. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, hey, tonight we've got a returning guest to Wrestling Junkies Podcast, Absolute Intense Wrestling's own Eric Taylor. He's been tearing it up in the ring the last couple of weeks, including an incredible SummerSlam weekend where he squared off against Heath. And now we're going to be talking all the fallout from AIW over that weekend. What's next for him in 2025 or 2024? We got a few months left and beyond. So without further ado, let's bring him on. Future's too bright. Eric Taylor, what's going on, buddy?
Hello, what's going on, gentlemen? Good to see you again.
Hello.
Likewise. Pleasure is all ours, my friend. As we get started here, I'm trying to pull up the messages here. This was in our wrestling group. So Mr. OTM, hosted on the Mark podcast, texted us, someone on one of our pods who caught our eye at AIW, or someone asked him this on their show, I should say. And one of the names that Kyle threw out on his show last week was indeed Eric Taylor. So just wanted to start our conversation with that. He is here in the chats right now. But you turned some heads this weekend, man, or that past weekend. How you feeling?
Well, I mean, that was the goal, right? You know, we knew that there was going to be a lot of eyes. I mean, there was always a lot of eyes on AIW, but especially on a weekend like SummerSlam weekend. So that feels good to know that I was turning some extra heads. Actually, one of my buddies that was at the airport for some reason said that he ran into someone that was at the shows that was in town, and they got to talking about wrestling, and he said the same thing, that he remembers who I was, and that he thought that I did a good job. So that's always cool to hear, especially, you know, for a weekend like that where there's a lot extra going on. There's a lot of superstars in the town, so it's pretty cool. I like to pat my back for that one.
So with a weekend like that, like what's the vibe of the locker room? Is it like, this is a lot of pressure on us, a lot of eyes are on us, or it's, hey, we're about to go out here and kill it and show what we're about?
Definitely both. The only other like big premium live event, I guess they are now, weekend that I was a part of was Tampa a few years ago with WrestleMania, and it wasn't AIW, it was some other stuff. So kind of the same thing. I think for me, being my hometown and my home promotion, that's definitely a little bit of an added bonus, and definitely some added pressure as well, because you don't just care about yourself. You care about the promotion and the letters that you're wrestling for. And, you know, you take pride in that. I mean, I think that the vibe was just, damn, this is going to be fun. And we get to show everyone what we've been doing, you know, for how long. And, you know, we get to have more eyes on it. I mean, it was just a special weekend. And I mean, we got Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, you know, backstage. Like, it's just one of those moments that like you'll look back on and be like, that's a memory, you know, that's just a great memory. So as far as vibes, like the question, just, they were all good, man. They were all good. We were ready to go.
Hell yeah. Love that. And yeah, you had a big match yourself that Thursday night, taking on Heath, former WWE superstar. Tell us when you heard that was going to be who you were working that weekend, and just tell us about, you know, your mind going into that match.
Well, first thing I thought was, holy crap, that is my favorite Nexus member. Just growing up, like, for whatever, and I told him this when I met him. I was like, dude, you were my favorite Nexus member. He's like, what? I'm like, for whatever reason, like, just when NXT started, I was just like, I got to pick a guy. And he, like you're saying, turning heads, for whatever reason, he just did that for me. And I was like, that's my guy. That's my guy for NXT season 1. I love that guy. And then obviously, you know, everything with the Nexus happened. I'm like, well, I got to ride or die with my guy, right? Yeah. So that was cool. You know, and last time we talked about, you know, Chavo Guerrero, being in the ring with him, and you know, guys like that, guys like Eric Young. And it's always good to be in there with a name, right? As people call them. You know, he's a legend. And you know, to be in the ring with people like that, not only, you know, raises my stock, but, you know, it's just that much more fun, because you get to have more fun with people that are that professional and have been doing it for so long. You just get to do it a little bit differently, I think. Like, a lot of times, you know, when you're wrestling younger guys, I think it's more so, and this isn't a bad thing by any means when I say this, but it's more so, we're going to go out there and, you know, just prove something kind of thing, you know, like, we're going to go and have an indie style match, and we're just going to go move and just kind of just sprint and just, you know, show our youth. Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love doing that. It's really fun. But when you work a guy like that, you kind of learn the nuances and the subtleties of the business, which is, you know, where you really get into the good stuff, I think. And so you just get to work on different aspects of the business when you're in the ring with some of those kinds of guys.
And I know you talked about how he's your favorite Nexus member, but any other special moments or even challenges that you had in that match with him?
The biggest thing that stood out for me, and I told him this too, was I forgot how catchy his entrance music was. Like, I'm trying to be serious. Like, for me, like I want people to understand when it's a big match, it's a big match. So I want to come out and I want to be serious. I'm like, no, like I'm ready to go. I want to go. Like, like grr, right? And I hear like, we're a 3-man band. And I'm like, oh no, man. I'm like, I forgot how good it was. So I'm in the ring and like I'm trying to like warm up and I'm like, ooh, and like I'm singing along to it and shit. And like I'm like, I gotta stop myself, man. I'm trying to be serious. Like I just lost, the intense title in AIW. So like I'm trying to be like all upset and whatnot. And I broke down. I just broke down. It was such a fun match, man. Like the crowd was into it because when that music hit, everyone was like, "Oh, dude, I forgot how like fun he is. Like, he's awesome." So everyone was just immediately behind him, and they always hate me. So like they were just so into it, and they were so one way or the other. So it was just fun. Like it was just like I was saying, like you get to work on those different things, and it was just a fun time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Thursday, especially with the surprise of DIY showing up, definitely, just took that rest of that night over the top. And then come back Saturday, and this was on 6th or 7th Street, like downtown, in the middle of downtown Cleveland, had the ring set up, tailgate hosted by Chris Van Vliet. And, man, there was a little bit of everything in that show as well. So just, looking at the weekend as a whole, we have said that there have been new fans made of AIW over that weekend. Outside of anything involving Eric Taylor, what other moments or what other matches do you think really, really helped to set that tone of this is what makes AIW AIW?
Just for Saturday or for either day?
Either day.
I got to go back into the memory bank now. I think you always love the scrambles. So any of those scrambles you can take a look at, especially the tag team scramble. Those are always just a staple of AIW and what it is, especially when I first started, being with Mikey and the Bitcoin boys, and we were doing those all the time, and understanding what those meant, not only to the tag team division and not only to AIW, but to the fans too. Those matches set the tone for the fans. A lot of the times those matches are the first match on the show or their first match coming back from intermission. So like you're starting it hot, and you're setting the tone of like, look, this is the shit that's about to go down. Sit in your seat and watch. And so those matches always for me are they're just highlight reels and they're just awesome. They're fun to watch. And then I would also be remiss to mention my good pal Chuck Stone versus Matthew Justice. I think that, and as well the main event from Thursday as well that he was in the 4-way. Just the ECW hardcore nature of AIW as well that we were kind of birthed out of. I think that that's just true to what we are, and we have those two kind of polar opposite wrestling styles that we can provide and that we showcase. And especially on Saturday, brawling through the crowd and, people getting hit with beer and all that stuff. Like that's part of what it is. And I think that's the beauty of it and it's the magic of it. And that's why I love all those festival shows that we do too. Yeah. Because they're just, it's kind of like all bets are off. Everyone's just having a good time. Everyone's just trying to mess around and make the crowd happy. So,
yeah. You're welcome, by the way, for me holding your phone and your sunglasses.
Thank you. I was going to mention, it was probably a good weekend for you. Got a selfie with my phone and my glasses. So that's cool. Yeah. I saw freaking Justice trying to chase me, and I'm like, let me just get rid of these Ray-Bans real quick because I'm not trying to break this gift that was given to me from my significant other. She would have been pretty pissed, but so thank you for that, for being my my guy there.
So let's talk about the rest of 2024. Any personal goals, whether that be an AIW or beyond, and anything you got that you're like, I want to end the year like this?
To be honest, like right now, it's kind of the same thing that we talked about last time. I think that I've been really talking about, with everyone, is just continue to grow, continue to get my name out there. That's the mission right now. That is the constant mission that, I really just want to get to as many places as possible. So that's number one. But as far as like short-term goals, and AIW, of course, we have J-Lit coming in soon.
And that's
right there, baby. We're going back to back. That's the goal. To my knowledge, nobody's even done it twice, to win J-Lit twice. So to be the first person to do it twice, let alone going back to back, would be really freaking cool. So that's one of the short-term goals for sure, especially after losing the title, how I lost it in that ladder match. Stings. It sucks. And so I mean, that's a short-term goal, win J-Lit and then get gold back around the waist. So
I like it. Do you need your lucky charm back?
What's the lucky charm? I don't need luck. Luck is for losers. I got pretty unlucky at Absolution, I could tell you that, when the title fell off the cable like that. But, it's all good. It happens.
Well, it is starting to be that time of year. Fantasy football's around the corner. You getting in any leagues this year?
Dude, I have a fantasy football draft in about 45 minutes, actually. So,
okay.
Getting ready for that. And then I have another one tomorrow, and then I have 2 more next week, and then 2 more the week after that. I'm in 6 leagues this year. So I don't know how that happened. Every year I'm like, I got to start cutting down on these leagues, and I just add them for some reason. I don't know how that happens, but
wow,
I need to win at least one of them to pay for the others. So we're going to have to really dedicate some time here in the next 45 minutes to try to do some research for some of these. But this one's it's with my cousin and his friends, and so it's a 6-person keeper.
Nice.
Been in it for like the past 5 years, so it's pretty nuts. We got 14 people. My running backs are Saquon and Breece Hall. Saquon and Breece Hall. It's a hell of a backfield. So I'm looking forward. We got Lamar at QB.
Hell of a backfield.
Nice.
See how it goes. I'm looking forward to it, man.
You'll learn a little bit about Saquon in a little bit there, Mr. Cincinnati, about week 8 when he runs on.
Look, you know what? I'm not doing this shit with you today, all right? We got plenty of time. No, why I'm not.
It is right around the corner, and yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. I thought 3 leagues was a lot. 6 is crazy. Good for you.
Dude,
I'm about 5 myself.
Last year I had 6, and it was pretty stressful. The year before that, I was just in 5, and I was like, man, this is tough. And then I decided to start a AIW fantasy league last year, actually. So that was one that I added. And that was a fun one. Super pissed off about it, but Mikey won last year. That really chapped me. He doesn't even watch football. So
yeah, those are the worst.
Just how it goes. It's just how it goes sometimes. But so I was the commissioner of that league last year, and I let someone else do it this year. Shout out to Dominic Guarini for doing that for me, because I'm like, dude,
thankless job.
I'm already managing like 2 others, and I'm like, I'm done. So, let me just draft a player and call it a day.
I like it. Well, Eric, thanks again for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you back. Hope to have you on soon. Where can everybody find you on social media? We know you got the handle down there. We know you got J-Lit coming up next month, but where else can everybody find you as we get into the fall? Yeah,
so like you said, right at the bottom of the screen, at FutureTubeRite, FUTR, the number 2, BRITE, on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I'm on YouTube, Eric Taylor. I'll post promos there every now and then as well. And then you can also go to bigcartel.futuretuberite.com. It might be futuretuberite.bigcartel.com. I'm not sure. Anyway, link is in the Instagram bio if you want to go buy merch there. And then I'm also going to be dropping a brand new merch design here soon. Talking to you, Gorilla Press, too, for some of those T-shirts that I might be needing soon. There you go. Yep. Hell yeah. So we'll be on the lookout for that too. And yeah, anywhere that any platform, I'm pretty much on it. So come hang out, come follow, come see what's going on.
Oh yeah, love to see it. Love to hear it. Best of luck going forward, man. And as always, can't wait to have you back on.
Of course. Yep. Thank you guys. Good to see you.
Talk soon. Likewise. Many thanks again to Eric Taylor for joining us. And thank you to everybody that is watching live tonight. As always, make sure you're giving us a follow at Junkies Pod on X, at Wrestling Junkies Pod on Instagram, like us on Facebook. Yeah, it's we got a great slate of guests this week. Tomorrow, you realize tomorrow is D-Day, right? We got August on the show.
Yeah.
August Artois returning.
I've cleared my schedule.
Yeah, he's had a hell of a weekend. He wrestled Savio Vega, I believe, in Puerto Rico this past weekend, and has a lot to say if you've ever watched any of his lives. So, we're gonna give him a live microphone. We're gonna see what the hell happens here.
We're gonna do it again, huh? Okay.
We are going to do it again. And from Dirk Vogus, hello, thank you so much for hopping in tonight. This Wednesday, we got some pretty awesome guests. Another absolute intense wrestler, Tyler Jordan, will be joining us for the first time, and ahead of their match this Friday, night one of TWE's 11th anniversary show, Cody Manhor and Aaron Wade stopping by the show. Tag team now rivals, I should say. Things are getting pretty personal. We're going to see if they can handle or at least air out their differences before they kick each other's faces off on Friday.
Hey, shout out to Ben Bishop, too. Had a big weekend at Southern Honor.
He did. If you've not had a chance to check out that episode with Ben Bishop and Sam Holloway, please do so. It is in our archives on our YouTube channel. And this is just an absolute. It's gonna be a hell of a week here. We got Monday Night Raw coming up tonight. 6-man tag team match. New Day taking on New Day and Odyssey Jones. I should say. I should not incorporate Odyssey Jones into New Day
already. Are you ready?
I am not ready.
You ready for this?
I'm not. No, I'm not ready for this. Because
you ready for Xavier Woods to turn heel?
Who says it has to be Xavier? I don't mind if one of them turns on the other. It's unfortunate that it has to end in this way and in this moment, but it's been a hell of a run for the New Day.
It's time. It's time. It's not the New Day anymore, man. It's time. Ever since Big E, it didn't work. Didn't work as well as I thought, as I think people wanted it to, as well as they thought it would. I mean, Big E is a big part of the New Day, no pun intended.
Yeah.
But it just feels incomplete without him, and ultimately, it's almost like a kind of sign of respect. Of all right, let's put an end to this, and let's go our separate ways. Let's see what Xavier can do on his own, because we haven't really had a chance to do that quite yet, especially under this new regime too.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to watch, but where do you rank them as their all-time status, whether you want to call it a faction, tag team, etc.? Where are we putting the New Day here?
Oh man, you kind of got me off guard with that one.
That's what we do.
As far as faction, I'd probably say top 10.
Is top 5 too much of a reach?
I'd have to do a little bit of research.
So Mr. OTM says they're his number 3.
Wow.
I mean, when you're looking at longevity,
wow,
as well as, I mean, this was a gimmick that should not have worked.
Yeah,
it should not have worked, and it didn't seem like it was going to. And then when you let them just be nerds, look how well that worked. And that was it. They were just being themselves. And it's rare that you're going to get such a natural translation from the person behind the character and having that translate on screen, that I don't think it's out of the realm to say that they'd be a top 3, especially somebody's personal favorite. Sure.
Kyle, who's above them? Throw that in the chats, please, because top 3 is hard.
DX,
the Bloodline, the Shield, the Wyatts.
Yeah,
man, there's 4 out. NWO. I mean, The four horse, dude. When the NWO,
I'm talking all WWE all time. I mean, that's a much larger conversation if we're talking NWO. But like,
Evolution.
Yeah. Oh, God, Reign of Terror.
It is, but that group was awesome.
So he's saying tag team. So top 3 tag team all time.
Even tag team, that's tough, man. Even tag team.
Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian.
There's 3 right
New
there.
Age Outlaws. Yeah.
The Usos.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Says factions may not crack the top 5, but it's a conversation for another time.
It's definitely a conversation.
Sure.
Give me some time to think about it. I might compile a list, but yeah, I'd say top 10, just off the top.
We've also got Sheamus taking on Pete Dunne tonight. This isn't the end of this feud, is it? Do you think?
No, I don't think so. Because I don't think Pete Dunne's going to win Tuesday. So
British Bulldogs, another great one right there.
Yeah, LOD,
Hard Foundation,
Hard Foundation, yeah,
Rockers,
The Undertaker, just on his own.
Brothers of Destruction. Okay,
The Ministry,
Midian and Viscera. No, I'm kidding. Headbangers,
the APA.
Even looking back on the satire that they were supposed to be, the right to censor also deserves a little love.
Oh my God, they were terrible. They were terrible. They were awful. You know it.
I know. But we do have a triple threat match for the women's tag team championships tonight. Unholy Alliance against Kairi Sane and Io Sky versus Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark.
The Unholy Alliance, Undertaker and Big Show.
They were the Unholy Union.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah. No fact checker needed.
Ah, man. Yeah, okay.
And the Viper is back, has a message for Gunther. CM Punk has a message for Drew McIntyre.
Be interested to see if they're kind of lumped in the same segment again, because I don't think that was not on purpose. Because I feel like, I mean, that there was a reason Punk and Drew interrupted Randy and Gunther. Like there's something there. Like is that his next challenger comes out of that CM Punk Drew McIntyre feud? This is one of those two costs Randy, and that's Randy's start of the next feud. Like I think we all think Randy's going to turn heel, but we also have the Kevin Owens factor with Cody, where I think Kevin Owens is going to turn heel. Like is turning Randy heel too soon? Like there's a lot of moving parts right now, and it's a lot of fun for us as fans to kind of play this guessing game of who's involved with what and why are they going to be involved with it.
There's also, and I read this article on Bleacher Report today, and it made some it's basically just an opinion piece. It's not like this is really in the realm of possibility, I don't think, but making the argument for Randy to win in Berlin because there is that stipulation that, whoever wins the title essentially will switch brands. So you could send Gunther over just to be lurking in the shadows for Cody Rhodes, because at this point we are getting dangerously close to that Survivor Series lull where it's basically, okay, we just need to keep him lukewarm per se to get to the Rumble story to set up WrestleMania. That you could start there.
Which one?
As far as
Cody or Gunther? Who are you talking about the Survivor Series lull?
Like for Cody, just because look at last year, the program with Shinsuke Nakamura, just kind of the random stuff to keep him busy until it was time to get him ready to finish the story. So yes, with Cody, you would see more of that. I wouldn't necessarily put Gunther in the United States title scene or anything like that right now, but just they could use. Because we've said this, they need more heels, especially on SmackDown. They have it's a very babyface heavy roster right now. That we know that this isn't going to happen, but by the end of reading, I could see that argument for a Gunther loss here, because if he losing your world title to Randy Orton doesn't necessarily hurt you. It certainly wouldn't hurt Gunther per se.
On the first title defense, it might. If it wasn't the first title defense, I would say you're onto something.
Okay.
I think that first title defense, they're going to want to make him look like oh shit, this is the guy now.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason Priest isn't getting a rematch.
Fair. Okay. Yeah. No.
I mean that's just what I think. And as far as Cody, I mean, yeah, that Survivor Series lull that you're talking about, I think they'll probably play around with the rosters. We never got any of those trades people were talking about, and if I think it was SmackDown or either Raw last week, I can't remember. It's been a little foggy. But one of the GMs was on the phone saying, yes, I want both of them, like as some kind of maybe deal or trade or something. Like that's still, they mentioned that for a reason. Again, I don't think WWE programming now is not doing stuff for a reason. And they mentioned trades for a reason and nothing ever came of it. Like I think it's, especially with like the NFL starting and kind of like, oh, everybody's in sports now again. And it's like, oh yeah. Here's a trade kind of thing. So maybe
that does bring an interesting question though. Do you think that they should, much like the major North American sports, impose a trade deadline for each year?
Could be fun.
Gives it a little something extra of, okay, here is the last chance, just because it's easy to shoehorn a trade or shoehorn a swap into Rumble season just because everybody's kind of on both shows anyway, but it lessens that impact to where if it's like, oh, okay, well, next week is the trade deadline for Raw. Like something has to happen here. If you make that big of a, make it a big deal and give us a reason to buy into the trades. The superstar shakeup didn't work. The wild card rule was dog shit. But if you are going to say the trades matter, trades are part of this draft process, at least give us a story around them.
It could make December fun since they usually don't do a PLE in December anymore. Like that could make December a little bit more interesting. So I think it's a great idea. And I think you should pitch that idea to Papa H himself.
Oh yeah. I'll tweet him before the show. I'll make sure you use hashtag WWE Raw
and hashtag Junkies Pod.
Hashtag Wrestling Junkies, actually.
Either way.
No, it's hashtag Wrestling Junkies.
Either way. And tag Gorilla Press in there. They can make some t-shirts for them. Yeah. Tag the Main Event Network. Tag us. Tag me. Tag you. Tag Heather. Tag MJB. I don't care who you tag.
Yeah. Remember to use promo code WJP2024 for 25% off.
Anything else over the weekend that tickled your fancy?
Still need to watch Collision. Now that it's Wembley week, I got a little bit of catching up to do before we talk. We are going to be on Wrestling Spotlight tomorrow night, and I'm sure we'll be talking a little bit of
All In
on
Thursday
Wednesday.
Night?
No, tomorrow night. It is tomorrow night for sure because Gerald will be flying to Wembley this Wednesday.
Oh, okay, cool. Perfect.
Yeah, thinking no show on Thursday. I've got tickets to Green Day.
It's just all about you, isn't it?
I mean, this time, yes.
Breaking news: no show Wednesday. Or, shut
Thursday.
up.
Come on,
I'm sick.
You're a parent. You're always sick. You literally started our conversation tonight by saying that.
I'm trying to see. So right now it's 10 matches. Do you think they add any more? Without mentioning anything, but do you think they add any more?
Probably one or two. It wouldn't surprise me. Because it's a daytime show here in the States, so
yeah, God, we're gonna go over this card, but I'm interested to see how we both feel about this card because there's a couple on here I'm just like,
oh,
really? FTR and Young Bucks again? Like, I know I'm saying that, and I sound like a privileged wrestling fan, but it's also like
this would be the fifth time.
Yeah, but the Acclaim's in it this year, so maybe that adds a little fun to it. I don't know. It just it seems like it's we don't know what to do with the Bucks. Just throw FTR in there with them.
And the new contract with the limited dates isn't helping matters either.
With FTR,
Young Bucks.
Oh, Young Bucks, yeah. Well, especially when they're your tag champions. No.
Yeah.
Doesn't help anything.
We see how the part-time champions work so well in WWE.
Oh, ask Brock. He did it for at least 2 years. What a time. What a time we lived through. The TNT title looks okay. I know everybody's freaking out and saying it doesn't look. It looks cool. It's fine. I like that they customized the TNT title to the person holding it. I think that's a cool aspect.
I did not see that, but I'll have to do my Googles.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. I don't think it's earth shattering, but it's a nice touch to. Again, Jack Perry this is his character and he's enjoying it. So they did the same thing like Miro and Scorpio Sky, and it's fine.
Let's see if I can find it here before we close out today. But as always, thank you guys so much for joining us. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. What's that magic number, Choops?
It's 1.
If you know at least one person, just do us a favor. We are in HD now. 1
in HD. How about that? Look, there's 2. Tell 2. Since we're in HD.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay. Well, I'll find it later. But anyway, we will be back tomorrow night. August Artois will be joining us. Sorry in advance. Yeah. But Tyler Jordan, Cody Manhorn, Aaron Raid also joining us. We'll have our official All In predictions, and that should be putting a bow on the week. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. As always, just enjoy wrestling. Have some fun.
I think you said it perfectly. Just have some fun.
Love it. For the podcast, Adam is Cincinnati. We'll see you guys tomorrow.